is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the DeadPan Podcast. As always, I am one of your hosts, Patrick, aka P-Sut. Joining us today, Dan. How you doing, friend?
What? Who? Hi. Doing good, sir. That's me, Dan. Deadpan Dan. Yes. Welcome back
DeadPan
to
Dan.
the podcast.
DeadPan Dan.
Right. Hence the name.
Great. Love it.
How are you
Happy
doing?
to see you, friend. Yeah. Also joining us, as always, good friend Maria. How are you?
Am I a good friend? I'm kind of shit, actually, but all right.
Good
Yeah,
friend.
I'll take it.
All right. Sorry. Joining us today,
I'm
shit
okay.
friend Maria. Thank you.
Yeah.
How are you today?
Hi. I'm okay.
Chaotic
I'm
neutral
doing
friend.
neutral friend. I'm okay.
And-
I'm surviving.
All we can do these days. Rounding out the cast, of course, good friend Erika. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited
But-
to talk about things and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Things, all
Talk
things.
about things and
See?
stuff.
Well, what's
Let's
going
fuck
on?
this
What's
shit
on our
up.
minds this week? What have we been up to? Let's get a little catch up here. It's been a month, due to
What?
the
Yes.
vicious snake bite that I was dealing with when I missed last podcast.
Is that what happened?
Oh gosh, yeah, the flying
All right.
snakes of the Northwest. They got me again.
All right, you're gonna have to fill us in on that because I was gonna ask,
Yeah,
why were you not with us
please.
Because
last
I'm
time?
sitting here like, are you being serious? Like, are you
No,
okay?
it's because I asked you all to make up a fun reason why I was gone, and then you forgot.
Oh.
And then
Oh, that's
But
right,
Maria
yeah.
forgot and she pointed it out later and she's like, I'm a terrible person.
Yeah, come on, y'all, have some fun.
We were
with
all
it.
like, "Oh, Pat died. Never mind." Anyway,
Yeah, pretty much.
I tried. If you watched the episode, I tried to make the joke that Louis was actually you.
That's true.
And then
But
everyone
it got
skipped right over it.
steamrolled. It
Oh,
got
nothing
steamrolled. Yeah.
happened. Nothing happened.
and then
Anyways,
Louis' internet kept cutting out, and then we got distracted, and then things happened. So
hey,
Yeah.
such is life. That's all right.
Such is
But
life.
I'm back. What's going on this week? Last month, the last 2 weeks.
Oh man. I'll go last since my thing will segue.
it will segue, will it? Okay.
Sure.
I don't know. The last 2 weeks have been a blur, honestly. I I'm sure like everything just melds together when you're just constantly moving, you're constantly creating and making content, for everyone who is aware of this stuff. I decided to take on the challenge of reviewing a video game and wasn't able to quite meet my own expectations in that, but it worked, and I was very busy on top of also doing my other podcast that shall not be named right now. That's not associated with this
Voldemort Cast?
podcast. Walmart Cast.
Voldemort
Voldemort
cast.
Whoa.
Krogercast.
That does sound like a really cool Harry Potter themed podcast, but we only talk about He Who Shall Not Be Named.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I dig it. What game were you reviewing?
I reviewed Chernobylite.
Chernobylite. That's right. What was your what's your top level thoughts on that?
To give you the skinny, I think it's a really cool game. I gave it like an 8 out of 10. Like pretty much like it's a great game. It needs some work, but it's also an indie game, and it's got a lot of oomph for an indie game, especially for the price point that it's set at. It's very much a Fallout, Stalker, almost Metro-y. Has a lot of cool things that I wasn't expecting going into it. I expected it to be more of just an open world survival game, but it's more of a structured mission based game set in Chernobyl, where you're like trying to find your wife or fiance who disappeared 30 years ago. It's this big mystery about it. There's some crazy magic kind of things happening with portal guns that you jump through time and space, and some dude comes at you acting like Wesker and being all magical and blasting things.
That was great.
Yeah, sounds cool. Yeah.
It got
Yeah.
me with some
Yeah.
jump scares, and I'll tell you, like, I'm not scared easily, but this game got me a couple of times. So you can check that article out on the other websites that I try not to talk about on this podcast. But
Yeah,
you know the one.
Yeah, we know.
Know
we
the
know.
one.
You know.
People
We know the
watching
one.
this, they know.
They know.
know.
Yeah, I'm
You know,
excited
you
to check
know.
that out. Yeah. Maria, how's everything going? What you been
It's
up
going
to?
okay. I'm absorbed in a project that was way too ambitious, and I probably shouldn't have started it, but I have. So
All the
so
projects.
I'm prepping for Comic-Con next weekend, and at the end of last Comic-Con I was at, which was about 6 weeks ago, I set a task for myself because when you go to Comic-Con, like you get things signed at Comic-Con and you always go to the table and you get like a little individual like, picture and stuff. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I make something for all of the people to sign on one big picture? And I was like, well, how am I gonna make that? Well, I'm gonna draw it because I'm a fucking idiot.
Like the freaking
So
size of like a canvas. You're just like carrying it around.
Why?
it's
So
yeah.
my first thought is like you take pictures of people and you stick them on a big board and you go, here, sign this on your face, then
Yeah,
sign this on
a
your
normal
face.
person would do that. But me, I'm like, I know, why don't I do this massive fucking picture that has got like over 20 voice actors represented on it, and I'm gonna hand draw it, and it's gonna be this thing, and I'm gonna get them all to sign it. And that's what I've been working on, and I'm so close to getting it finished, but it has destroyed my fucking brain for the past
And
6
just
weeks.
to clarify, and it sounds like it's a lot, but just for the folks who may know what you're talking about, may not. It's you're doing the characters of
Yes.
that these voice actors have represented.
Yes.
So, like who did you have in that? Who didn't
I
you
have
have?
all of the
Hmm.
I have all of the Animaniacs. I have the Powerpuff Girls. I've got Sonic the Hedgehog. I've got Mario. I've got Luigi. I've got Winnie the Pooh. I've got Tigger. I've got Kermit the Frog. I've got SpongeBob. I've got all of the cast of Futurama. Yeah, it's all on one picture, and it's kind of insane.
You're insane.
So insane.
It
It's all
sounds
right,
like
but it's
great
just one of
project.
those. Yeah, it was one of those things that I was like, I wanted to see if I could do it. That's one of those. It
You
was one of
always
those
you
hold
always
my
seem to
beer
be trying to
moments.
like outdo yourself, Maria, because I was blown away with your Nolan North drawing that you made for him to sign, and then I was blown away with the Terror Squad poster that you made for us, and now this is like both of those,
Mm.
but more.
Yeah, because I'm like, I want to see if I can do it. That's the thing. I'm like, well, you never know until you give it a shot. And then I'm like, oh, but it's really hard. So yeah. So that's what I've been doing. And it's been consuming my life. And I'm taking it to Comic-Con this weekend to get it
Yeah.
signed. So,
Well, I'd love to do maybe a little bit of a deeper dive into the con prep a little later. But thanks for the update. Erika, how you going? How you going? How you doing?
I'm happening good. So my weekend was painful, but in a good way.
nice.
For the listeners, I'm showing off my right forearm. It has the tattoo.
Gauntlet of Power.
The Gauntlet of Power. It has Ellie's tattoo from The Last of Us. Got most of it done on Friday, so about 3 hours then, and then 2 days later, so like on Sunday, I got the rest of the foliage done and filled in, and my gosh, was this the most painful experience of my life.
I can
believe
imagine.
it.
But it was worth every second. I was distracting myself watching Jacksepticeye's playthrough of Elden Ring, which was really good. It was a very good distraction. And like, here's the funny part. So I was really tense. I was trying so hard just to sit still, be a good girl, get it all over with, get it done. I must have I did so well that I caused a cavity in my tooth to crack because I was gripping so hard.
Ouch.
So I had to go to the dentist today, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna need a filling," and so I have that scheduled for July.
Wow.
Bummer.
So that was fun, but honestly, one of the best experiences, and it's just
It looks pretty good.
It's stunning.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That's
Very
a tough
clean
spot,
looking.
especially as you get towards. I mean, anywhere on your forearm was not fun. It's definitely not fun.
Yeah, I
Especially,
can't
like,
particularly
right
compare
here.
because mine are pretty
Inside.
small. Yeah, the insides are the worst.
But
Yeah.
those are painful spots.
And then near anything that bends, that's kind of the other golden rule too. Is that anything that
My
bends?
wrist.
Does anyone else have any
is-
tattoos on their back?
No.
Okay, because
No.
I have
No.
one on my back too, and that was the most painful part. Was I could feel the needle like bouncing off my spine. It was like,
Yes, that's how it felt on my
Blech.
like wrist bone. It just the vibration, it just like affected my entire being.
You ever
It-
have the
it was
sensation?
insane.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't recall. No one's got them like towards their forearms. Do
No.
they?
Well, mine are here.
I think the
So
only
what
one.
starts to happen, in at least for my body, in my experience, is as you get a little farther up, there's like a nerve or something that causes you to feel it in like for me, it's like
I am pretty sure
behind my
that's your
ear,
ulnar nerve.
below
Mm.
my ear somewhere, that like they'll work on it here, and you're just like, what is that?
It looks
Yeah,
like
and
me when I'm getting my hair cut and they do the trimmers to the back
Oh,
of my
I
neck,
love
and I'm
that
like,
part.
"Arr."
I love it when they take the tiny trimmer to the back of your hair, and I'm just like,
I
yes.
always,
It's
I'm
not
such a
good for me.
giggler. Stop.
I'm like a little puppy when it does that. I'm like, shake my leg, like yes.
Yeah, but any tattoo, I relate to that. I got to remind myself, like, I wanted this. When you're
Yes.
in the middle of it and you're an hour and a half, 2 hours deep, and you still got halfway to go or whatever, and you're just like, just end me, But like I'm when I'm paying for this, and I wanted this, and I'm going to see
Yes.
this through, but it doesn't,
Oh yeah.
you
It
got
I
to
put
don't
me
want
out
to
of
walk
my
around with a
suffering.
half done tattoo. It's
No,
like, nah, we're just
No.
getting it done. We're just gonna
you have
get
to
it
finish
done.
it.
Yeah. Well, and for me, like it was the thought of like sitting in the car when I'm done and being like, I did it. It's done and I did it. And I just kept thinking about that through the whole thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm ready for that moment. And it's gonna happen in like 2 hours. I can do it. I just have to just wait it out.
Yeah, the pain is
Mhm.
temporary, but that cool tattoo is going to last you a lot longer. So,
Doesn't it feels like a sunburn when it heals?
mhm.
I bet it does.
Just like
Yeah.
blow on it, like so tender. I like can't bend my wrist certain directions because it's so dry still. But
And
man,
so I'm just curious, what's your affinity for The Last of Us? Why is
Yeah.
this symbol stuck out to you so much that you want it on your body? And
Yeah. That's a
um,
really good question.
dive into it.
So a couple of reasons. One, I just love the game a lot, especially like playing through for the first time, the first one. It's one of the most emotional, most beautiful stories that like I've ever been able to play and to witness. I cried over it. I had gamer depression when it was over. Just absolutely beautiful. The characters stuck with me, and I had a lot of jump scares and horror aspect to it, but
That a
I
Rudy
made
do?
it through. But I made it through. Um, and so when part 2 came out, um, it's kind of like a 50-50 reception amongst some of the fans. And I see Dan smirking over there because he's one of the other half of the fans, and we've talked about this.
It's a great game.
Great. I told him I was gonna cry on stream. I'm just kidding. But I loved the second game and the split between the two characters and playing both of them and realizing they're both coming from the same place, just different experiences. And I just love Ellie's character and Ashley Johnson. She's just so talented and fantastic. And when I saw the tattoo on her when she was when her character came up again, I was like, oh my gosh, if I ever get a tattoo, that's what I want. I love moths. They're one of my favorite animals. I was like, that's just a gorgeous tattoo. And so I kind of put it in like this little folder that I have that's like tattoo ideas for whenever I get tattoos. And then a couple of months ago, my husband got COVID. And I didn't bother to quarantine. Like I want to sleep in the same bed as him still. I'd like to sleep at night. And we were both vaccinated, so like he didn't get it very bad, but I never tested positive. And so I was like, I'm Ellie, The Last of Us.
I'm
You
immune.
can't get sick.
Immune. I'm immune. So that was kind of like another like fun nod to it, but there was just so many things that just connected to the meaning of this one symbol. That was like, this foliage is also beautiful. Moths are one of my favorite animals. Love this game and I love this character, and it has a couple of meanings sprinkled in. I was like, that's something I want to keep forever because it has such deep meaning and personal connection for me. I was like, that's something I would like to permanently have to look on and just be reminded of every day.
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
dig it. I
That's
dig
my
it. Love it.
long-winded answer.
No, we don't have to deep dive Last of Us 2, but being based in Seattle myself and having it set there's so many cool moments where I can just like actually like I feel like their depiction and their recreation of Seattle is very accurate, although not obviously not perfect, but like there's a specific neighborhood called Capitol Hill in Seattle where they have rainbow sidewalks, very LGBTQ friendly kind of area. And I remember like that's in the game, and it was just a little touch. It's not like it's not a big plot point or anything like that. But if you just know in Seattle that's where that is, then you can just it's just cool. I don't know. It's just cool.
Yeah. You sent us some pictures of some of the places that like you saw, and I'm just like, I want to go back. I want to go to Seattle. I want to see all those. This is beautiful.
Yeah, the office at least has a view of the Ferris wheel, the Great Wheel. I can see the stadium, the stadiums with the baseball field there too. But the football stadium is what's in the game, and then you make it to the aquarium, and that's within view too. I think you get to the Space Needle eventually, and I think that geographically, the Space Needle is a lot farther in the game than it is. So I'm going to poke some holes there.
They had to like hug it all in. Yeah, squeeze it all in.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean like the Space Needle is closer in real life, but like you had to go on a boat because of weird like apocalyptic things were happening in The Last of Us that like it made it seem like the Space Needle was just like a mile out at sea, and that's not the case. But anyways, I just want to dive a little bit more into gaming and tattoos, if y'all don't mind here. And I'm curious to know, friends, I have a couple of my own video game inspired tattoos, and I'm curious for you folks who haven't spoken up about it. Is there anything that you could ever see yourself potentially tattooing that's related to either gaming or nerd culture? I'm just curious what your thoughts are on the idea of combining the two things, or if you want to tattoo at all. Maria, no tattoos, right?
I don't have any toes right now.
Yeah, I understand. You wouldn't put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari, and that's how I always thought when I was.
I don't think I'm a Ferrari, but
no, you're a Ferrari. Come on.
Your mind is a Ferrari.
I'm more of a Kia.
I drive a Kia. They're great. They're reliable.
Exactly.
I got a backup camera. It's great.
I drive a Subaru.
I look like shit, but I'm reliable.
Hey! You talking shit about my car?
I talk shit about my Kia.
Anyways,
I'm a Kia asshole.
I was gonna say that's how I always felt like a Mazda was the like looks like shit but super reliable.
That's how we're not even gonna go into this.
Anyways,
tattoos. No, I don't have any toes. I like the artwork and stuff. I'm just one of those people that I don't think I have anything that I'm committed enough to that I would be like, I want that on my body forever. And I mean, like, I'm not against the idea, but I can't ever imagine myself having one. I think if I was ever to get a tattoo, I think I would get the Sic Parvis Magna tattoo. I think that's the one I would get because I have the ring.
Would you want like a ring or just like the written out?
Written out. I'd have it written out. Pretty. Because it's kind of like that whole saying to me has more meaning than it just being a gained meaning as well. Because I grew up really poor. So it's also like, greatness from small beginnings, going up in the world and that kind of
thing.
Look
at you now.
Exactly. And also as well, like, the game has led to many things and many friendships and stuff like that. So it just has more of a meaning than anything. And also maybe get a Monkey Island tattoo. I'll get a three-headed monkey on my shoulder. So someone can go, look behind you, there's a three-headed monkey.
That's actually super adorable.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I don't know if I ever will. I usually, if I like something enough, I will get like jewelry of it and I will wear the jewelry and stuff. Yeah. And so people are always like, why do you wear that? And I'm just like, you have a chicken nugget on your ankle. Shut the fuck up. Don't question my decisions, okay?
Or they have like Chinese symbols that they think means love, but it actually means like chicken sex or something.
Like, don't judge my shit. So yeah.
Well, perfect. No, that's a great answer. That's a great answer. Dan, I don't know what are your symbols? What are your?
I have 3 tattoos currently, 2 of which are both anime/cartoon themed. I have the Invader Zim logo for the Urkin Empire. I know it's hard to see, and then I have the symbol for Adamus from Fooly Cooley, and on my back I have a little dragon that kind of looks like Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon.
looks
and
like him or was
it
meant to be him or
I actually got it before that movie came out, and it just
huh?
happens to look exactly like a Night Fury, like a little
That's actually really
symbol
cool.
of a Night Fury.
I'm
Okay,
upset we
okay.
can't see it right now because it would turn into like mature content. But
About to get naked. But no, like there's something I wouldn't mind having, like not Jill, but like the Umbrella logo maybe.
Mm.
what
I've
is that?
actually from Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
There was a time I was looking at getting the emblem from Fire Emblem, like on my shoulder, because like Chrom has in Fire Emblem Awakening,
Oh, Fire Emblem's great.
and then I wanted to get like the Triforce on my hand, like
Ooh,
Link. Um,
ouch.
and for the longest time I thought about getting Godzilla like on my calf, like a full Godzilla on my
Yeah.
calf. I've always had the issue of not finding a guy or a tattoo artist that I can reliably go to and like get the deals kind of thing. Like I've talked to a few people about like touching these up, or I went to a guy about getting the Chrom and the Link, and it was like, how much are you charging for that?
Uh-huh. They're expensive.
I'll get back to you on that, and just I never go back. So yeah, I want more, but it's pricey unless you have
Yeah.
like that tattoo guy or person that you go to
Yeah.
and they give you the deals for coming back to them kind of thing. So
Funny enough, the girl that I went to, super sweet. She's a student. And
Hmm.
so she had started in August. And so I got this for 300 minus or not including the tip. And sorry, I made a dirty joke in my mind.
Power through.
And all like people sometimes like underestimate students. They are extremely talented. So if you come
Oh,
across
yeah.
somebody who is a student and they're trying to get some stuff, like their stuff will be cheaper because they're not
all my
professional
friends who
yet.
have a lot of tattoos all got it because they have friends who became tattoo artists, and they're like, I need to practice. Let me practice on you. So I'm like, I didn't have that friend.
One of us needs to become a tattoo artist and we'll do it for you. Maria should.
Maria.
She's the
No.
artist.
I
All
ain't
we have to
tattooing
do
shit.
is no. Because all you need is just
all
do
you
a
need.
stencil. We'll just get you a stencil and we'll have you do
Well,
it.
have you seen me draw? Do you know how much of a fucking meltdown I have? Do you really want me tattooing on you?
No, but Dan might. But
Just don't get me to draw any certain characters, all right?
this is true. Copyright. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, never like if anybody's interested and they know somebody who's like a student or learning, they're extremely talented. Don't underestimate them.
For sure, yeah. Pay the people what they earn, you know?
That's why I gave her a good tip because
I bet
Like,
you did. That's
she's
what
a-
she said.
I was trying to power through and you ruined it.
She said.
You left yourself
Yeah.
open for it. So
I know.
That's
That's
what
I've got
also
a
what she
couple-
said.
I
Ugh.
relate to the wanting of the Triforce because that was my first tattoo, and I had to do my own little spin on it, and so it's Celtic
Nice.
knotted there.
It's beautiful.
nice.
I don't know if I can get much closer. I don't really want to mess anything up here.
I'm impressed with the crease. That looked like it would be painful.
Ooh,
Well, it's like-
ouchie.
It's like the point of it is like pointing to the crease too. So it was
Yeah.
Kind of where I had the issue with the points on my Erkin
Yes.
symbol. Like those were like the worst parts of this.
Yeah, those
Just
are
those
always hard.
points.
Yeah, the triangle shape there. Yeah. And then I'm sorry, audio listeners, I have a piranha plant on my right forearm.
It's a very visual
um,
podcast right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, it is.
Check
Among
out our
other
social
things there.
medias or, check this out on YouTube and you'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna post a tattoo photo album as a
Dude,
post.
let's totally do it. I'm in charge of the
Do it.
social media, so send me the photos of your tattoos and
Yeah.
I'll put them up.
Yeah,
DeadPan
I don't have any.
tattoos.
I'll just draw on myself with a Sharpie and be like,
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, please do that.
you actually should though. Yeah, you really should.
You're
It's a good way to test it out.
obligated to do that now.
I'm gonna start like drawing on myself now. All right.
Is that the only two nerdy ones you have, Patrick? Or video game nerdy themed?
I also have Gandalf, which is just an
Gandalf.
angle here. I'm not going to be able to adjust the camera, but Gandalf is here, and it's I've got a wizard is never late as the.
That's precisely when he means to.
I was
Thank you.
just about to do that.
Thank
I
you,
got
fellow
called Gandalf the
Gandalfs.
other day too.
What?
Brandy
Yeah, why's
called me
that?
Gandalf the other night because I was talking about a game I played, And I was like, I saw that I had the achievement for completing the game, and I'm like, I don't remember beating this. I'm like, it was from like 2010. I'm like, I have no
I
memory
see
of
where
this
she's
game.
going.
And she goes, okay, Gandalf. And I'm like, I have no memory of this place.
Mm.
That's my girl. That's actually my. So I have one more tattoo planned, and then I don't have any others planned because I like the number 5, and that would make 5 tattoos. It's actually so Onduin. I got in Elvish. It doesn't directly translate into Elvish, but we were able to just do kind of like typing on a keyboard, just phonetically or whatever that specific phrase is called. We're just typed out AUNDAYN. And so I got that done, and I'm planning to get that done right here on my lower forearm, upper wrist, and that'll probably be the last one I get, unless my husband wants to get a tattoo. In that case, I will match him.
I feel like I need to get one now just to fit in.
Yeah.
Dude,
No, you
I've
don't.
had quite a year. I've gone blonde, and I've gotten 4 tattoos.
No,
This
I'm
is
not
the
going to get
year
a
of me.
Yeah, with Peace and Love, Erika, you've got the Ellie tattoo with kind of the Abby look right now with the tank top.
Mm.
You're rocking the gun
I'm
show.
so glad you pointed that out because I thought about it too. I was like, coming with the Abby look. I'm so happy you said that.
Yeah.
I got LASIK last year, like got my eyes lasered,
Ooh.
so I don't wear the glasses anymore for now. That was my year of self-improvement, I suppose.
That's a great one.
I'm working out a lot now too, so I'm hoping to kind of like be the buff geek that I always dreamed of.
I love it. You and Louise are gonna fight for the geek.
Right.
But you
I
got
used,
his
to,
tattoos, so
I
you've
actually
one
I
up
used to
him.
have like a Facebook page, like what the hell did I call that? Like the Modern Health Geek, and I was trying to like promote this whole like healthy living and lifestyle for nerds, especially because people like us tend to be very sedentary. Is that the right word? Sedentary.
It's very true.
True.
Yeah.
It's very, very true. So that's kind of like where that challenge that I brought up a couple of podcasts ago. I guess it was our first one with the walking from the Shire to Mordor. That's a great one to get me up and walking because now I kind of feel like, oh, I have a purpose. I have a reason.
Well, what's an
And
update on it? How far have you gone?
I am almost done walking to Brie. I think I'm like 80% done. I'm eating gummy bears.
Of course you are.
Vigorously.
The podcast. No snacks on the podcast.
That's why I'm like far away,
All right.
so no one
All
can
right.
hear
All
me.
right. We'll segue. Thank you.
But yeah,
Thank you.
that's a great idea to do because it's true. We are very dairy.
Mm.
Ow.
You
Don't
hurt
hurt
yourself
yourself.
eating a gummy bear.
No, I hit my arm against my leg, and it hurt.
Devastated by your leg.
Ugh,
Mm.
the sheer mass of leg.
My legs are like this thin.
I
Like a
want to.
new-
I want to dive back into prepping for MomoCon, Maria, and what's all going into that, and then also just kind of. I want to talk about maybe some other kind of projects we've been working on and what's something because how long you've been working since the last con? You said
Yes.
6 weeks or so,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's been a relaxed not relaxed, but it hasn't been like 9 to 5 every day for 6 weeks. It's been like I basically try and because it's easy to get burnt out on a project, no matter what you do. If you do something for a very, very long time, it's easy to get to the point where you're sick of it. So I just try and be like, I'm going to do one character a day, or I'm going to do something like this. And so it hasn't been a hardcore. And then I hit a mental bump, and I just was like, I hate my life. I'm going to kill myself. And then I don't want to do this anymore. This was a terrible idea. So it's just, so you have to kind of space yourself out. But yeah, basically since April 14th weekend, I've been working on that thing over there, which we don't want to look at. It takes it's one of those things. It takes time. It takes as long as it takes, and you can't rush it because it's easy to get into the point where you're just like, I just want to get it done, and you just start scribbling it, and then you'll regret it, and so it's like.
And now, so
whatever.
this is something that you've completely. I mean, you've assigned to yourself, right? I mean, this
Yes.
is a project that you wanted to do
Mhm.
because you knew that these
Not a
voice
commission.
actors are going to be there at this next
Yep.
big con, and you
Yep.
wanted to get their signature right. Okay. And so are you finding it, are you storyboarding this out at all, or are you just like as you go adding those characters? Like,
As I
okay,
go.
I can see why the frustration would build there
Well,
when you're like,
yeah. Well, I'm. The problem is that I always the last project I did like this, I just did it as I went, and it gets to the point where you're just like trying to fit everything into this scene, and it just doesn't fit because you're making it up as you go along. So I was like, this time I was like, well, no, plan it out properly, plan out what you want to do. But then there's so much pencil mark and smudges, and so in the end you have to start penning stuff in. And then once I start penning stuff in, I'm like, I'm going to start coloring things, and then I keep coloring things, and then I run out of things to color, and then I'm like, well, fuck, I got to draw something. So it just so yeah, it gets tedious. But it's one of those things that when I have it, to have that to hand over and be like, here's a thing, I want you to put your name on it. I'm hoping by the end of the tours, because this is going to multiple Comic-Cons, so this isn't just going to one.
oh, it's not just one. Okay.
Oh no, this is going on tour with me.
Yeah.
So it's because there's over 20 voice actors on this thing. So 7 of them are at MomoCon on this weekend. So I'm going to try and get as many as I can, and then I'm just going to keep taking it to them just to hopefully gather it. Like, it's going to be full of signatures by the end of it. So it's been a journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I hope that we can someday see. Well, I guess also, what's the plan once you have it completed? Are we going to see it on your wall back there, or like, what are you going to do with it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to get it framed. I'm going to have it framed, and then I'm going to have to keep taking it out of its frame to take it to other cons.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm going to show it because I think it's going to be like a nice little treasure hunt, just to try and like you're collecting them like Pokemon. You have to be like, oh, I got that signature, and now I got that signature and stuff. And so it's this nice little thing that I'm hoping, it'll be something I can have that I can look at and be like, I drew that, and I have it signed. It's going to be the original that's signed, so it's not a print. So it's going to be something that I created, that all of these people, and the reason why I came up with it as well is the reason why I got into drawing in the first place was because of cartoons and games. So it's becoming like a full circle of like, I've got to this stage where I'm good enough where I can create this thing, and you guys were the reason why I got into it in the first place. So it's like their acknowledgement of my talent coming from them, kind of,
Full circle.
Beautiful. No, I love it. And I sure hope that we can see that on the podcast. I know that if you follow Maria on social media, you get sneak previews of it. You get little glimpses here and there.
You do.
So will you have them sign it with a specific pen so it doesn't bleed? Because I'm sure if they use Sharpie, it'll like kind of bleed through. We have them use something specific.
No, it's a hard card. So basically, I'm coloring it with alcohol markers now. So if they use a Sharpie, it's the same thing. So I might take different colored pens as well, just in case they're like it, because it's so colorful. Some pens might blend in to the colors, and so I'm going to take different ones and be like, do you want gold? Do you want blue? Do you want this? Do you want that?
I love that.
I just have a feeling that they're going to be a lot of well, I've got I've had people sign my drawings before, and they're scared to do it because they're like, you want me to put my name on that? And I'm like, yeah.
It's your character.
Like, I don't want to touch it because
that was the whole point.
Yeah, I'm like, I drew it for you to sign it, and they're like, I don't want to, though, because I'm going to ruin it. And I'm like, no, you make it worth something. So, worth something to me, not worth anything to anyone else. So this will be something that I want. It's not going to be I'm not going to sell it. It's not going to be a sign and sell. It's going to be a thing
ginormous, like, personal memento for you.
It's going to be amazing.
And I'm hoping as well, I want to get personalized messages from it. Because can you imagine having a board of messages from people like Phil Lamar and shit that are going to be like, this is awesome, and then put their name on it and stuff? You'll be like, yeah.
It's like someone signing your nerdy yearbook or something.
Yeah,
or like,
I kind of want it to
have
be
a great
like,
summer, Phil Lamar.
Yeah, like a yearbook type thing. So
I really hope somebody signs it that way now.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm hoping so.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for the update.
Hopefully next podcast I'll be able to show you it signed because it will be complete. But right now it's not finished.
Yeah.
So yeah.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Erika, were you getting to something there? What was that?
Kind of. Which is the next con you're going to?
MomoCon.
That's what it. I was just curious.
That's right.
My mission to go to every single con this year apparently.
Good. Enjoyed that because I've Never been to an actual con at this point, other than
Well,
retro games.
you're going to this year with me.
Yes, so we finally made it official that Brandy and myself will be joining some of the fellows here in Salt Lake City
Yeah.
in September for what is it,
Mm.
Fan Expo?
FanX. Yeah,
Fanex.
it's a
FanX.
Comic-Con, but yeah, it's called FanX because of a lawsuit
That'll
with
be my
San
first
Diego
official
FanX.
Comic-Con.
And it's a great one to go to. It's huge and it's beautiful. You're gonna love it.
Beautiful.
It is. It's so pretty.
Beautiful.
The Salt
Yeah.
Palace is gorgeous. That's
Salt
what
Palace.
the convention center is called.
Oh, I thought they
Palace.
actually made a palace out of salt.
That
Well,
would be
you're in
hilarious.
Salt Lake City, so you'll be close.
That would actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
You should come down, Pat. Come to
there's
it. Come with us.
Just pop on down.
I don't know, you guys. I don't know.
Come
I don't know.
on.
We're just gathering a whole bunch of people.
We're all just flying in because we're a bunch of fucking
Yeah.
weirdos, apparently.
Yeah, I don't want to dive too deep into travel plans here, but what's the date again? When is that happening?
It's September
Third weekend?
22nd through 24th. So it's
Okay,
a
I got no excuses that
Thursday.
far out.
There's some time.
It's a
All right.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday because in Utah most stuff's closed on Sundays. So
Utah's
they've
crazy.
switched it. I mean, yes, but
My
You should
girlfriend will
come.
chastise me if I even go there. If I even look in that direction.
you're gonna hit by lightning.
Well, we're all going to be there, so we're going to bring the
Yeah.
hell with us. So
That's true. That's true. The
Oh, darn.
debauchery won't be far behind.
we're all staying in Erika's house. Oh dear.
Her poor house.
Well,
It's gonna be full of
before
assholes.
we drift too far away from it, I did want to touch on, because of this project that Maria's been working on. I want to know something that it doesn't have to be a 6-month long project. You know, don't worry about the time frame. Don't worry about its completion. I just want to know something that you worked on, a project that you took on, something you're proud of, Erika and Dan. Like what else is going on in this project, in this creative outlet? I don't know. Hopefully you know what I'm saying.
I am preparing for season 3 of the Let Us In, which is actually my TTRPG podcast. So it's like Dungeons and Dragons, but we use a system called Arium. It's pretty much like a homebrewed campaign that involves all of the players. So next month we're getting started and we're going to create the world and then start recording. So it's a pretty hefty project, especially because with like some dungeon masters will know, homebrew can be pretty tough and pretty like intricate. So since we're creating a whole new world every season, it calls for some creative burnout, which is why we've had to take almost a 3-month break in between our seasons because they're so intensive. But I'm really excited. I just love our cast and our players, and some of our listeners are just the sweetest people. So that's what I've started to get ready for.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to speak through the listener and for myself. What the heck does that actually mean? Like what is
Yeah.
that? Like, what kind of, you brainstorming, you sitting down to work on that? Like, how minute do you get? Like, what kind of
Yeah.
roadblocks do you face?
So kind of based off of last season, I'll talk about. So once we created the world together, so when you go through an Arium, you go through certain subjects to be able to help you create the world. That's what it is. I think it originally started as like a writing prompt or like a creative writing kind of outlet. So you start with like people, subjects, locations, litakune, and which is like things that you don't want in a campaign and things that you don't want to see or things that are like behind a curtain. And then you go into the theme or like the vibe and you literally create every subject of a world. So once we've created that, now it's on me to start building the story. And I learned from the first season that being a GM or DM, however you like to call yourselves, don't
Non-binary.
don't get too detailed with your story because your players will do whatever they want and they will railroad the entire thing. So I learned, and so it was great to have them do their own things, but I'm like, I have this very detailed story. This is exactly what was supposed to happen. And of course it's not going to happen. You can't predict your players or their characters. So I learned for the second season to have a very basic outline. Here's how the world works. Here is the basic structure of what I want to do. This character has this twist. However, the character progresses is how I'm going to allow the twist to happen. So I kind of have a starting point and end point, and my players fill in the middle with how they want their characters to go and do. So I try to plan very outline because my players and what they want to do is more important than what I have in mind sometimes. And sometimes they're a lot smarter and they know what they want to do and what's going to happen. And I want to let their creativity flow, and I just want to guide the story that they also feel like telling, because it's not just mine.
Right.
So
Yeah, I can
that's what I'm
totally
doing.
see how that might be, a daunting process, and it's
Yeah.
you don't want to waste energy by putting
A
so
lot
much
of
focus into one
improv
thing.
is
Sure,
what it
sure.
is.
Yeah.
My friend once told me, Chase from Level 1 Geek, he told me that GMing is a fancy word for BSing. And I have never heard anything more true in my life.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was great.
I've been so down and wanting to do some sort of TTRPG for the longest time, and it
We're gonna
has
do
not
it.
happened yet. We're supposed
We're
to do
gonna
it for
do it.
DeadPan.
We're going to do it, and I'm going to run the game, and it's going to be fantastic. We're going to
Yeah,
do
looking
it.
forward to that.
It's gonna be a shit show, but we'll do it.
Like
Thank you,
wrangling
Erika.
cats.
Dan, please. What kind of project? What you been up to? What haven't you been up to?
Trying to corral this barrel of monkeys at all times.
Fantastic, okay?
When I'm not working on the Replayer podcast or Couch Soup projects, and I'm trying to make things happen for DeadPan, be it this podcast or our new show Indie Insights, or old shows that we're trying to keep moving, or trying to plan for new stuff like the TRPG that we've been talking about for 6 months, if not longer.
I'm putting a message in our chat to kind of get the conversation going again.
Yes.
So,
First new
I'll be distracted
message
for
on
a
that
second.
subject in 2 months.
So
Nearly 3. Hey, we've all been super busy, and I was dealing with creative burnout, but I'm feeling a lot better now.
Yeah. As far as some other projects I'm working on, I can't actually talk about them right now on
Cool.
here. Some things. Maybe down the road I can talk about those. But at the moment, not yet.
We'll see.
But yeah, just always trying to keep things moving for DeadPan, always trying to think of new fun things for us to do. We've played around with streaming on the channel. Marie and I did a little streaming. I've streamed with Timmons a little bit. You and I, Patrick, have streamed a little bit, and I've streamed with Erika. So always just trying to have something new and interesting going on the channel. And like we've talked about other streams and gameplays and whatnot and other content, and it's all just kind of up in the air. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
Especially when we're still trying to build out our niche, and figure out what we actually are. You got to just keep throwing things at the wall until something sticks. And
sadly enough, the most popular thing on our channel still is a random fucking gameplay comparison video I made just on a whim. And it's still getting views, it's still getting comments. It's for anyone who doesn't know, there's a Ninja Gaiden comparison video I made that's pushing 40 some odd thousand views on our channel.
Well, now you gotta make another one.
Yeah.
Same realm.
Brandy's like, well, yeah, why don't you just make more Ninja Gaiden? I'm like,
I don't want that to be us.
Right.
And then you get like the people that are like, what is the podcast? I'm here for
Ninja Gaiden. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I don't want to
comparison.
hear these idiots talk. Yeah.
I mean, I like Ninja Gaiden. It's definitely one of my favorite game series. I'll make Ninja Gaiden videos. I considered like maybe I'll just record myself playing it and post it on the channel.
Yeah. Or
I don't know.
Yeah. It's a weird place to find yourself.
I also just don't have time to be making
So
random
busy.
gameplay videos.
Right? Yeah.
I need you guys to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I dropped a gummy bear.
I got shit to do. Sorry.
I'm gonna prep the TTRPG stuff, so
I have pictures to draw.
Sure.
Many of them.
I want to get stoned and play Far Cry and forget I'm a human.
If you record it, I would be happy to put it on the channel.
It'd be a lot of silence. No, it'd just be a lot of silence.
As long as you were just
I
like
get chatty. That's what you're gonna watch. Yeah, it's not. You're not missing.
That might be
people would watch that.
I wish I could go back in time and record myself.
I'm a Twitch streamer. They won't.
I want to record myself when I was a teenager playing Metal Gear Solid 2 for the first time and got super fucking high. And I got to that point in the game where Raiden gets kidnapped and wakes up naked. If for anyone who doesn't know this scene, it's one of the most fucked up scenes you've ever seen in a video game. And he's running around holding his hands over his crotch. You're butt ass naked, and your commander dude is calling you with these random cryptic messages. And like, I'm a teenager, blitzed out of my mind, playing this, and like the commander dude one point like calls you, and he's like, "Don't you have anything better to do than play a video game on a Saturday?" And I went,
No.
Hey, what's wrong with doing that again? Just with a different game.
Just pretend you
I
stone.
don't know what
would be
else. I don't know what other game would hit me that
That'd
hard.
be a great series.
Getting blitzed and
Blitzed with Dan.
well, Patrick just said he's gonna play Far Cry High.
Sure. But I'm just saying that'd be a
He also
great
said it's not gonna be fun.
series.
It's not content. I'm just
I
saying
think it
no
would
one's,
be
no one's going
great.
to enjoy it.
It all just
Content.
depends on the game, but that's a great idea.
What? Let's all get drugged and play games. That sounds like a terrible idea.
I mean,
I
most
do
channels
tattoos,
do
not
drunk
drugs.
streams.
Let's all
gonna-
get high and play video games.
Get high on tattoos.
Let me get high and see what I can draw. Just be like,
And
I
I'll
don't know
have
what-
I'll have Legion
what
playing on the
colours?
TV.
I would be so happy if you just turned into Bob Ross. Like, I'm gonna make a pretty little tree. Just happy little tree.
No, I get angry. I'm an angry Ross when I'll just be like, I can't draw the fucking trees.
Well, Patrick, I think that's a great idea, and you and Dan should do this on the channel.
What?
I think you should do it.
Oh.
I'd watch it.
No, you wouldn't. You'd bored out of your
I
mind.
totally
You'd
would.
bored out of your mind. You would.
I love what like the playthroughs that I watch besides like Jacksepticeye, they need to be very little to no commentary sometimes. And so I think that to me that sounds
How come
great.
nobody watches me when I play then?
Little to no
That's how I'm
commentary.
feeling because like
Yeah.
I don't say a whole lot when I play. So I think your theory, I appreciate you. I appreciate the energy you're giving me right now, but I think it's false.
I'm a hype person.
Yeah.
I think it's barely a good
hype
idea.
person. Yes.
I will
yes.
encourage the
Yes.
heck out of you.
Well, I just want to bring to light too that my project is
Yes.
I for like the last like 2.5 years, I've been super into called aquascaping. You know, it's just like it's having a fish. It's having a fish tank, but that's like the
good.
fancier term of like
We just got a
actually
fish.
using. You guys just got one?
We just
I
got a
have a
fish.
toe.
Okay. We'll have to get into that in a
We'll
second.
circle back.
Yeah. So I have a 30-gallon tank, and you know things. I'm really fortunate that like to have been into this hobby. There is a like two really well-renowned aquarium shops like within a few miles each way, and like this aquarium co-op is just like they're crazy on social media, like and it like blew my mind. And it's not like millions, but it's 814,000 subscribers this aquarium co-op channel
Holy
has
cow.
that like have a storefront, you know, north of Seattle, and then just do these like live streams and these like top 5 tricks, hacks and so anyway, so my project has been establishing this tank with real plants. You know, I've had success in like unintentionally like breeding fish too, you know, like creating enough of a happy space that all of a sudden they're like, oh, let's just make more of us, you know, like, oh great, this is cool, I got this nice rock to hide behind, let's make more. Which depending on the breed of fish can be more difficult if you don't have it set up the right way. And so I've just like it's been my like I have like a separate set of like aquascaping utensils, which is just like long curved tweezers and like long scissors as you're just like as you're trimming away at old plants and like and removing things. And it's a lot of just like, well, let's just like I'm just like not feeling the layout right now. And so like you take the fish out, and because it kind of creates some substrate when you like to go all over. Oh, substrate being the bottom, you know, the gravel and the sand and stuff like that. You know, it causes all sorts of mess in the tank if you're moving plants and stuff around. And so you take all the fish out, and then you're like, I'm gonna put a bunch of it in the corner here, and I'm gonna make a mountain. And it's all about levels. And it's I've been enjoying this so much lately. I find it so calming to just like move my plants around, and then to watch my fish, you know, thrive. So anyways, that's your boy's project lately that's been going on for a while. But
Very Very cute.
It's a fun time. It's a fun time. It's also my cat's finally interested in it. Like she for whatever reason didn't care, but now she'll just like loaf up at the edge of the bed. It's in my room. Can't quite see it from this angle here, but just watches, just
I'm
stares.
pretty sure I can see her leg.
You can see her, but you can't. I'm sorry. I'm saying you can't see the tank, which is like behind
There.
this wall.
Do you name your fish?
No,
They
because you get a
die.
lot of like there's like literally like 12 of them.
Okay, though, yeah.
That are
That's
all
true.
the
It is
same-
a 30-gallon.
Yeah. There's
have
a
a
couple that I have
70-gallon
that are.
tank.
You have a 70-gallon? Nice.
Do?
Huge.
I want to know about this. How long have you been doing that for?
I haven't been doing shit. I inherited a turtle like 10 years ago,
Okay.
and it's a little red ear slider, which apparently are illegal in Tennessee. I didn't know that.
Oh, contraband.
So,
Oh, cool.
yeah. Yeah.
Hooker,
Podcast.
boys.
Well,
Got her.
apparently it's you can't you can own it, but you can't release it into the wild. They can't be outside in ponds. You can have them in a tank. But yeah, we inherited it from my husband's roommate. He's like, oh, do you want a turtle? And I was like, turtle. So my husband decided to keep it, and then we've transported it across the country from Tucson to Indianapolis to Tennessee. So we have this giant fish tank. It's 70 gallons, and we occasionally have. I got some fair fish one time. I went to like the fair and got some goldfish, and they are like these really tough, like feral goldfish that are like carnies.
Feral goldfish?
And all their fins are all ripped and shit, and they're all tough. So I got two
They've
of
got
those.
tattoos too.
They were like they were massive, and I called them ping and pong because I got them from the little ping pong game. But they would walk around and they'd be like, "Fuck off."
No, wait, I'm sorry. They weren't necessarily supposed to be like feeder fish. They were just like
They were
put
the ones that you win at the fair.
Okay,
in the
and
little
you're like-
bag. Yeah.
yeah.
And I won them, and they were like, I put them in with the turtle, and they got really big, and they turned into like these little carny goldfish. They were all like their fins were all shredded and the stuff, and they were all like super tough. And, yeah.
Are they
They're
still
awesome.
living, or is this a while
No.
ago? Okay,
No,
I
they
missed that part,
died because
sorry.
I had them like 7 years. They lived a long time.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah. I was proud of them.
Goldfish
little-
notoriously actually like not easy to maintain aquarium fish. They create a lot of waste, and
Yep.
so actually tend to like you think like, oh, because they're cheap or whatever,
Yeah.
like this is a good option, but actually no, it's just contrary to popular belief, not so much.
It made me laugh one time. I went to a pet shop. We used to get those Playco fish to clean the tank because we have a turtle in the tank with the fish, and they clean upside the glass and stuff. And we went
I
in
have
there,
one
and
of those,
this woman comes up to us and she goes, she's like, "Oh, what kind of tank have you got?" And I said, "Oh, we got a turtle and stuff." And she goes, "No, they can't live with a turtle." And I was like, "Well, we already have one." So then she goes, "No, it will kill the turtle. It will eat the turtle." Like, fuck off.
At least the pleco's gonna eat the turtle.
Yeah, she's like, "No, it will kill the turtle."
He's
Like,
gonna try to just clean its shell. He's gonna like suck on the side of it
yeah,
or something.
yeah, I'm like, okay,
That's what she
16-year-old, shut the fuck up and get out of my face. Yeah, so I was like, go away. Oh, yeah. People are
Yes.
idiots.
Dan, I want to know
Segue.
about the fish you just got.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because like that whole
Were you
time I was
trying to-
quiet, I was fiddling with my mic because it got disconnected,
Oh.
and I was like, oh shit.
I was like, oh no, have we been ignoring you?
No, I just been trying to like fix it while I was letting you guys vamp. So we got a little blue beta a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's got his own little tank.
Beta. The fish people would correct you.
I don't care.
I will correct you.
I
I'm
have a
the fish
story
Brandy.
Brandy,
after
Brandy hasn't
you-
corrected me, so
Are you gonna get the alpha version when it comes out?
yes, I need the alpha and the beta.
Just wait
Wait,
for the
wouldn't
full
we be
version to
waiting
come
for
out?
the beta?
The alpha comes before the beta.
Are you gonna
and-
get 1.0 when it comes out?
But we
we're
got the
nerds.
fish as kind of like sort of a birthday present for our daughter, but it's more Brandy's fish for sure. I named it somehow inadvertently. Yeah, so
What's
Finn.
I love that name.
Amazing.
It's of course more the Star Wars themed version of Finn.
Okay.
Not just fish Finn,
Yeah, it works. Works both ways.
because most of our pets get named after sci-fi in some form, either Star Trek, Star Wars, or Destiny.
Cade.
Yeah. But
So
I
So
don't know. I can't speak much on the fish. I'm not a huge fish person, but he's pretty fun to look at. He's pretty colorful, and he bops around and like eats his food pretty energetically, and it's fun.
He does fish things.
He does fish things.
I have a beta fish story.
All right.
It'll,
Oh,
it'll be nice and short. I know we've only got a few
Beta.
minutes left. But so there was a show that came out. I don't know if it ended or whatever, but oh yeah, it ended in 2019. The show Elementary, where it's like a Sherlock
Hmm.
show.
hmm
And they made Watson a woman. And for some reason I was like, not digging this dynamic. I didn't like the show and I didn't like anything about it. And like while it was still airing, I ended up getting this beta fish. I was like, I specifically got the male that was listed on the container. It's alone in an apartment. I needed a fish. And so I got the male one and I named it Watson. It grew up and it was mislabeled and it was a female fish. So I was upset because they had this female Watson and now I had a female Watson fish that I specifically got as a male to spite the show. I was very upset.
How did
Why
you
does it matter?
know?
Yeah.
Because I believe it's just the males that when they grow up, they get like all flourishy and beautiful colors, but the males don't. Like
The-
something like that.
Ah,
The females tend to be less flashy.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that the females can't also be pretty. There's a
Yeah.
lot of cool ones out there
It
too.
was
But
very dull green. Well, it was very dull green. But yeah, I just always thought that was funny. I was like, "Ugh." And so it was actually at like that point, I was like, I think I need to start like not judging these things so harshly in shows. And so I have a much more lax view on
And I'm called
things
the
that have
hater.
changed.
yeah.
Dan
When
the
did we call you
hater!
hater?
I did. I'll admit it. The name calling.
There's not a lot of things I hate, but
No, and I teased. Well, I got a lot of other stuff to talk about, but I think we're gonna have to probably wrap it up here. I'll give you a
we
little
might have
teaser
to.
though. I watched RuPaul's Drag Race for the first time. I watched the
Cool.
first Fast and Furious movie for the first time.
Are these gonna be for next episode?
Yes, because
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
talk
these are
about
little
Fast and
teasers.
Furious.
These
I
are little
hate it.
teasers.
Because
Um,
you're gonna start talking about how we're family. Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Did you see that video? It was like a bunch of Vin Diesels like in the room,
I
and they're just
skipped
saying
it after,
family,
like, 2
family,
seconds.
family.
Whenever someone does that now, they're like, "We're all family." It's like, all right, calm down,
Can
Vin
I
Diesel.
Yeah, okay.
Piggyback on that and mention how
Yeah.
excited I was for that when they included Iron Giant in that multiverses game they announced last week.
Yeah,
It
with
makes me
you got
cry.
Shaggy and you got
Arya
what's
Stark.
the properties?
Watch it all. It's all
What?
WB stuff, I think, or DC
think
and
so.
WB. So
Yeah.
it's all WB for sure. And
For
then
people
like
who don't know, that's Warner Brothers.
I was super pumped when they were showing Superman, and he's like, "Well, I guess it's time for Superman." And then the Iron Giant shows up, and he's like, "I'm Superman." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, Superman can suck a dick."
Oh yeah, Superman, Wonder Woman. I'm seeing there's Jake and Finn from Adventure Time, Steven Universe.
Does anyone understand
Arya.
why I mentioned Iron Giant? Because you're talking about Vin Diesel.
See, voices Iron Giant.
Okay,
Of course
thank
it's-
you. Good.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to hear. I'm good now.
That threw me off a couple years ago when I learned about it. I was like,
I think we're particularly like every time we hear something, a voice, we're just like, "Who is that?"
oh,
Hmm.
immediately on IMDb.
Yeah.
Just
Right?
I
Any
must
voice,
know.
I'm just like, I need to know, and I try and pick out whose voice that is. I'm just like,
Oh,
I
And-
typically will
Ah.
know before I go and look at it
Yeah.
because we're just so good at it.
yeah.
But if
we
I
know
don't know
people.
something,
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm like,
I need to know this
I
so
think
I can
know
never
who that
know.
is.
Like I was playing Persona 5 and one of the characters is voiced by Matt Mercer. He said one word. I was like Leonardo DiCaprio in the meme. Hey. I was like, that's Matt Mercer.
There, I'm like, I was sitting, someone's watching, playing Twitch, and I'm just like, I know that voice.
But Patrick, I'd love to next time get to know your thoughts on Fast and Furious because I am a Fast and Furious disliker. So I would love to know your points next time we talk.
Sure.
saw
Yeah,
that movie
I'll
in
have to-
theaters.
hopefully by then I've seen more than one.
Yeah.
been a bit of a date night kind of thing.
There's many of them.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's been an event that we've sat down and then she's shown me the movies. So like,
I
don't have the power to just do it on my own right now. So anyways, thank you folks. I don't know how we end this show, but
Bye.
We're gonna figure it out.
No. Let me vamp. Please tell us all about your projects you're working on. Tell us about your tattoos. Tell us about your fish tanks. Tell us about any kind of creative endeavors
What
you're
is it
working
called?
on right now.
Aquascaping?
Aquascaping. Tell me
Nice.
about your aquascaping. You could probably tell some gears were turning when I started talking about that. I have some feelings about it. But anyways, go Liverpool on Saturday. I just need to sneak that in there too. And that's about it. That's about it. Thank you, everybody. This has been another exciting episode of the DeadPan Podcast.
Thank you.
Riveting.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.